My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. I'll be with my friends to try and make some money. My job is not just to entertain you, but to educate and teach you. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. You want to know the best way to miss big opportunities every single day? It's easy. Just focus on the blather about the coming recession, nothing but the recession. I see the endless recession chatter, when it's going to come, how bad it's going to be, how long it's going to last, as a total misdirection play. One that prevents you from trying to make money in the market. And making money is supposed to be the point of this exercise. It sure is the point of this show. Take today. I probably heard the word recession almost as much as I heard the name Elon Musk. It's ridiculous. Even with all that negativity, the Dow only slipped 110 points. S&P declined 0.6%. NASDAQ lost 0.8%. But more important, the market was back to even a lot of the day. Here's why I'm so sick of the recession speculation. If you had to predict which sectors of the market would be the weakest going into the extremely severe economic downturn, well, what would the first one be? The first one would be steel. That's right. Nothing's more cyclical than steel. Total boom and bust industry, right? That lives and dies with the broader economy. I mean, everybody knows that, correct? Going into recession, something like Nucor, the largest steel maker in America, would be an obvious short. Yet today, Nucor reported a bang-up quarter with improved shipments and prices that were up nicely year over year. Dangerous short. Even as the analysts almost universally expected a sharp slowdown, Nucor blew away the estimates. The company's even expanding right into the teeth of the so-called recession. It's taking market share. It's taking names. Great guidance, too. No wonder the stock jumped 5.5% today with a positive pin action spreading to the rest of the industry. If you shorted the steels, well, let me just tell you, you should have sent me a letter informing me of exactly when your funeral was. We've got Nucor CEO Leon Topalian on the show later. He'll give you more insight into what's happening at this great company. What can I say? I know the all-knowing bond markets trade like a recession is inevitable, but Nucor sure isn't. After the steelmakers, the second most dangerous group to own in a recession? Oh, well, that's also obvious, too. It would be the home builders. You can only imagine how badly they'll do when the Fed raises interest rates 2 more times and housing gets crushed, right? But wait a second. They've already taken short rates from 0 to 5%. What happened? Well, this morning, D.R. Horton reported a radically better than expected quarter, earning $2.73 per share. Well, the Wall Street was only looking for $1.93. That's on top of a monster revenue beat. Horton introduced a full-year sales forecast, $31.5 billion to $33 billion, which was more than $3 billion above the consensus estimate on the low end. The stock jumped 5.6% today. Makes perfect sense. Now, remember, this is the country's largest home builder. You think D.R. Horton's looking for a recession? No, they're looking for profits, and they're confident the Fed can't stop them. If I were them, I'd be confident, too. Every time the Fed raises short rates, longer-term bonds go down in yield because Wall Street gets more terrified of a recession. And, of course, that makes mortgages all that much cheaper. Let me put it another way. If we were really heading to recession, would the largest home builder in America be within a few blocks of its all-time high? And that's what D.R. Horton did today. A few bucks. The strength here propped up the whole cohort, including Cramer, Faze, Lennar, and Toll Brothers. Hey, this is how obvious some of these things can be. You know, just a couple weeks ago, we had Stuart Milroy. Now, he's the executive chair of Lennar. I've known him for ages. He told such a great story, but did anyone even listen? Nah. Today, Lennar's at a 52-week high. And what can I say? Next short target going recession? Oh, well, hold it. Don't we always short the autos? The autos, anything car-related gets killed, right, including repairs? How about Snap-on, though, which makes tools for maintenance shops? It was the biggest gainer in the whole S&P 500 today, up nearly 8%. Has the world gone insane? No. Snap-on's just a well-run company, and the economy's in much better shape than most people assume. That's how it could report the remarkable quarter today, the one that fooled all of the recessionistas. What else? Oh, how about this is another group that you've got to sell, the Semiconductor Capital Equipment Group, because these things cost billions of dollars when you put them all together. It's incredibly cyclical. When the economy's in bad shape, their orders always fall off, always. But today, Lam Research was the second biggest gainer in the S&P 500. Why? Because last night, Taiwan Semiconductor, one of the world's largest chip makers, called the bottom of the semis, which has been crushed by the industry-wide glut. Huge call. Took up the whole semiconductor capital equipment, including KLA, which also has been reporting great numbers the whole time. Great connection there, too. And I can go, you know what I do? Let's go to this. How about the rails?
All aboard!
I mean, aren't they supposed to be awful recession? But you know that CSX, gigantic rail, reported a terrific quarter after the close 9% revenue growth year over year. You don't want to own anything chemical-related either, correct? I mean, that's big cyclical. But the PPG, the gigantic maker of paints and plastics, delivered an excellent set of numbers this very evening. This, by the way, is after it already pre-announced great numbers just really not that long ago. Now, you can argue that I'm simply cherry-picking here. I'd come back and say, are you kidding? This happens every single day because while the economists and the commentators are convinced we're looking at a recession, the actual companies, they don't seem to buy into it one bit. Neither are the bankers, and they'd know, right? I mean, Banco Santander's chairman, Ana Botín, sure doesn't feel that way, and I think she's outstanding. Santander's up the most of any major bank, and she exudes confidence for this country and the entire world, and more on that later when we speak to her, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Of course, the great thing about this market is that so many people believe that there'll be a recession that they take action, too. They buy the packaged goods stocks. That's also excellent, right? Because those won't see any fall-off in orders. Many of these defensive stocks were down hard at the opening, but then they came back. Good buying opportunity. In the end, though, there's a name for this kind of market. Ooh, it's called a bull market. And it feeds on the skepticism of those who think the asset class is whistling past the recession graveyard. Of course, there are some stocks that would be up but couldn't stay up. I mean, at one point, AMD rallied after Taiwan Semi said the chip glut was ending. The chip glut's been terrible for AMD. I've been buying it hand over fist, along, of course, with NVIDIA. The stock was down $8 today. Nobody likes it all of a sudden. And yes, I have to mention Elon Musk will be the subject of tonight's No Huddle. That's our last segment on the show. He had a botched product launch and slashed his prices, crushing his gross margins. And that's how that stock dropped $17. I'll opine on that later, too. So I come out of here every night, and I have to tell you that the end of the worlders, they're everywhere, right? And they're all banking on a recession. And it really doesn't have much evidence. I don't think they have anything to hang their hat on after a day like today. But you must always remember that the S&P 500 is made of a host of stocks, some ready to roar higher into a recession, while others roar because the recession might be milder than expected, and so others roar because there might not be any recession at all.
House of pleasure.
We had winners in all three groups today, which is not what you'd see if you're going into a severe slowdown. So here's the bottom line. Even though we saw plenty of rough patches today, when the most counterintuitive stocks rally on great numbers like this, it's a sign that the bull is snorting, not sleeping, and not about to get slain, regardless of what the economists tell you about the inevitability of a recession. I think you should get on board before it's obvious to everyone that we're mostly headed for a soft landing without a bad recession. If you wait until everybody else knows what I just talked about, you will most likely be too late. Let's go to Tyler in California. Tyler.
Hey, Big Boogie from California. How you doing, Jim?
I am doing well. Chill says hi. What's up, Tyler?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I'd like to know, what do you think of Chipotle going into earnings?
Chipotle going to 2,000. I think that just, by the way, Chipotle's one of those places. They're automating a lot of things. They've got some new, they've got some great new dishes. Bring back the brisket. It's a $1,700, and I like the stock to go a great deal. Let's go. Oh, my. Let's go to Georgie in Pennsylvania. Georgie.
Hi, Jim. I've been a club member since inception and have learned so much from you.
Oh, thank you.
My question is this. I bought Humana when initially recommended. What is happening to have caused it to drastically drop yesterday and again a bit today? Is it due to the noticeable...
No, you're right. Look, Humana got recommended tonight by Kenneth Fitzgerald. The group went down when UNH reported a very good number, but I have to tell you, that's a Dow stock, good number, and the stock sold off. This is the pattern of these companies. They go all the way up, and we nailed this one, but good for the club. And then they trade down, then they go all the way up again. So I think that Humana is a great buy, and that's why we're sticking with it. And I thank you for joining the club. And don't forget to listen to the home stretch a little bit after 2 every day, where Jeff Marks and I duke it out exactly about things like Humana. The naysayers of this market keep calling for a recession. But where is it already? I say when the market goes down, On Man Tonight, surging after earnings. Can investors continue to expect gains as strong as steel from Nucor? I'm checking with the CEO. Then we're continuing our series on rare 2021 IPO winners and taking a closer look at 5 industrial players that have moved higher since their public debut. And Santander has a finger on its pulse of Europe and also the whole world. I'm learning more about what the Spanish bank is seeing with the company's top brass. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.